Chako sir, can you hear us?
Libison, I can hear you properly.
Is it audible now, sir?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay. So our speaker has joined.
Okay.
Dr. Anand Thakur. So Dr. Chako Joseph is our principal, sir.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good.
So warm good morning to all of you. So this is our first of a kind of attempt to do budget analysis, and department wishes to do this academic exercise every year because thorough understanding of budget is advisable for students from commerce background. So I would request Srilaya to take over the session and we will move forward.
Okay, thank you, sir. As we are here, let me start the program. A very warm good morning to all here gathered. And my name is Srilaya. I'm the host of this event. And it's given me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this program of Department of Commerce of St. Aloysius College, who has organized a webinar on the Union Budget 2020, a key takeaways. As over the decades, the budget has been the most important and sensational economic event of the year in India. It is a multi-dimensional document that affects the life of all the citizens. Budget is an annual finance statement presented by the Ministry of Finance in the Parliament every year, with full details of proposed financial activities of the government for the year ahead. So a budget is a synonym for the sound economy and stable government. Our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2020, the fourth budget of Modi 2.0 on 1st February 2022. And so our department has organized the program for highlighting the major analysis of the Union Budget 2022. For that, we have a wonderful speaker here for today. For that, I would like to welcome Praveen sir, the Assistant Professor of Commerce of St. Aloysius College, for the welcome speech. Sir, welcome.
Principal, Dr. Chako Joseph, today's resource person, Dr. Anand Thakur, HOD, Rajitha ma'am, webinar coordinator, Dr. Libison, and all other participants. A very warm good morning to all of you. Today, Commerce Department of St. Aloysius College is organizing a webinar on the topic Union Budget Analysis 2022, Key Takeaways. Understanding, analyzing, and evaluating a budget in its fullest line and breadth may be a cup of tea of the experts of finance and economy. But budget is supposed to affect different sections of the society, from common man to the topmost category. It is supposed to reach the nook and corner of the society. So there should be a mechanism by which even a common man could get an opportunity to understand how the budget will affect the day-to-day life. This webinar is a small initiative by which participants can take away some key insights of the budget. With this introduction, I, on behalf of Commerce Department, extend a warm welcome to our respected Principal Dr. Chako Joseph, the captain of the ship of St. Aloysius College, who always give wholehearted support to these types of initiatives which benefits the whole academic community. I welcome you, sir, to this webinar.
Thank you.
Today, we have an eminent resource person, Dr. Anand Thakur, from the Central University of Punjab, who will crack down the complexity of union budget in a simple and more understandable language. On behalf of all who gathered here and Department of Commerce, I wholeheartedly welcome you to this webinar.
Thank you.
I welcome you, sir. Ms. Rajitha ma'am, HOD of Commerce Department of St. Aloysius College, always act as a motivation for these kind of departmental initiatives. I welcome you, ma'am, to this program. Dr. Libison, the webinar coordinator, it is his initiative and effort this webinar could come to materialize. For the name of the formality, I would like to welcome Dr. Libison to this webinar. Last but not the least, I welcome Srilaya, who will introduce our resource person, teaching and non-teaching staffs of this college, and teaching and non-teaching staffs and students of other college, and my dear students. A warm welcome to all of you to this session. Once again, I welcome on behalf of the Commerce Department and all who gathered here for this program. Welcome you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words. Now, I would welcome our respected principal, Dr. Chako Paul, for the presidential address.
Thank you. The chief guest of the day, Dr. Anand Thakur, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Financial Administration, School of Management, Central University of Punjab. The head of the Department of Commerce is Rajitha. The convener of this conference, Dr. Libison. The joint convener, Mr. Praveen. Other faculty members of the Department of Commerce of our college, and all the guests who have joined from various parts of India, and my dear students. I'm extremely delighted to see that the Department of Commerce is organizing a discussion on Union Budget 2022, which is an essential part of any study of commerce. As a faculty of economics, I do understand the importance of the economic environment that is created by the budget, and its importance on trade and commerce of a country. The students of commerce should certainly understand the intricacies of a budget, its implications on businesses, and how it is going to impact the commerce sector, the business sector of a country. So a budget analysis is always essential for true understanding of what is said in the budget. A budget is a very complex document. So for the students and the general public to understand it in a layman's language, we always need an expert who can speak on the topic. Today, we have an expert for this purpose. We have an expert from the Central University of Punjab, Dr. Anand Thakur, who is also the head of the Department of Financial Administration. I'm sure after listening to his analysis of the union budget, you will have a better understanding of the intricacies involved in the budget and its implications on the commercial sector and the business sector of the country. I congratulate the Department of Commerce for taking up such an initiative and also for identifying an eminent resource person for this program. I wish all the best for all the participants, and I hope this conference, this talk will enlighten the listeners on the implications of Union Budget 2020. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now it is a great honor for our college to have a chief guest like Mr. Dr. Anand Thakur, Presently, he working as assistant professor and head of the Department of Financial Administration at School of Management and finance officer at Central University of Punjab. He has 17 years teaching and research experience in Guru Nanak Dev University, Central University of Tamil Nadu, and Lovely Professional University. He had 30 research publications in US, Croatia, Australia, Philippines, and India, like Service, Marketing Quarterly, Global Business Review, Management, etc. He also coordinated social entrepreneurship project of lab coats as part of Sadi University initiative in collaboration with Government of Punjab during 2016, and invited as a speaker at reputed universities and College of Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh for facility development programs on business research methods, innovative pedagogies in higher education and general management. We are grateful to you for accepting our invitation and becoming the chief guest of today's program. Now, I would like to call upon our chief guest, Mr. Dr. Anand Thakur, to enlighten us with your words. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So I think screen can be shared now. Screen presentation.
Yes, you can share. You can share.
From share screen? Okay.
Yes, sir. From share screen, you should be able to do that.
Yeah. Is my screen visible now? My screen visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Can you make it full screen? It would be much better.
Now is it okay?
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So, friends, I think I am really, delighted to find that much craze and excitement, on the part of commerce students, and the offline presence, as well as, as stated by you, that online presence is also huge for this event. And I think, first of all, I would like to express my special thanks to the principal, Dr. Jose, for giving me this opportunity. So then I would also, express and acknowledge the, cooperation from Dr. Libison for convening this event. And, I think the way he is actively participating and, coordinating, that will also be encouraging others. And it will be, what do you say, our pleasure to highlight the active role of HOD also, madam, who is supervising all the things, minutely. So as friends, you all know that the title of this invited talk is Union Budget Analysis 2022 Key Takeaways. And whenever I, address on any topic, whether it is on rural marketing or entrepreneurship or, women empowerment, I always, try to go through the profile of the audience, because, as rightly shared by Dr. Jose, that this, topic actually is, when it is actually presented, there are so many dimensions, involved in this budget, that for a common person, whether it is, a farmer, or it is, what do you say, middle class businessman, so very less percentage of that, budget speech is being understood easily by the stakeholder. So similarly, right now, the profile of the audience is commerce students. So I will try my level best, because, the topic otherwise is very lengthy, because the day, finance minister, makes the presentation on this. So minimum 1.5 hours is taken last time. So generally 2 hours, 2.5 hours are also being taken on providing the details of this proposal made by the finance minister, but I would try to make it more meaningful and precise so that all students do not lose interest in this, and they are able to capture the key takeaways, the expected in the title. So friends, I think you all might be aware that, when you have to propose something, especially in context of money matters. So the union government, every time the constitution is providing this thing that Article 266 has made it mandatory for the central government that parliament approval, first of all, you have to, seek in order to draw money from the consolidated fund of India. So that is very common or very easy thing, which I'm just sharing with you. And, this is the sense that why, every year on February, finance minister, makes a presentation there and seeks the approval in the parliament. So with both the houses, so the things are to be gone, and then it will go to President of India. So this Article 114, so of the constitution, it makes it mandatory that no amount can be withdrawn from the consolidated fund without enactment of a law. So if whatever you are proposing for every financial year, whether it is 22, 23 or 21, 22, so you have to first get it approved from the parliament, then only you can move forward. So this is, the opening remarks. And another important aspect is because generally we, keep on seeking insights about the content of the budget. What the general things are there? If someone asks that, okay, the entire finance ministry is involved in this, no, there is a specific department of economic affairs. So the budget division, specific division is there who is representing Department of Economic Affairs. So they are involved in this, they are working as a nodal agency for preparation of this budget. Some interesting facts are also there. So, generally, as I told you that otherwise sometimes the, speech is very lengthy. So people, the businessmen, they, switch on the TV and in the morning and then up to lunchtime, the things are going on. So the speech is also counted in terms of words. So this year only, we have noticed very less, words speech made by the finance minister. So in the year 2021, it was 11,500 words. But there is nothing much relevance to us, but just an interesting fact. Unshackled but under tax. Now, friends, you know that, whenever we are speaking about the strength of the economy, so, GDP is the key parameter. And you know that India is right now celebrating the 75th year of its independence. So 1947, and we are in 2022. Okay, so in this 75th year of independence, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, there are so many programs being launched. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, this is a popular, program going on, and our university also is organizing series of, events, webinars, guest lectures to mark the celebration of that 75th year of independence. And this small, a slide, it is giving the entire story of 75 years. So if you count on first parameter, that is gross domestic savings as a percentage of GDP. So if you count in the first year of independence, 1948, so it was 10% GDS, that is gross domestic savings. But now in the year 2022, so it is counted to be 31.4. So it has gone by about 3 times. So that is a good indicator for, economy point of view. Similarly, tax collection to GDP ratio. So after immediate independence, it was merely 3%, about 3%, less than that, even 2.8. And now it is 7%. So though there is a huge scope further, and I think government is consistently making effort to increase it further. Direct tax to total tax revenue. Now see, at that time it was 52%. That is the same only right now, but the proportion has to increase. That is the effort still to be made. So fiscal deficit. So about 50 years back, they had the data about 2.5% of GDP. The fiscal deficit was there. Means this is a worrying sign for all of us, because the deficit, that how much we are falling short of our revenue. So that is the indicator, fiscal deficit. So at that time it was 2.53%. And in the year 2022, now in this current year, now it is observed for the 21-22, it is observed as 6.8%. So because it means that we are not able to manage our funds properly. So that, that is also not alarming, but the efforts are being consistently made. And I think in the current year, we have proposed it at 6.4%. So this was for 21-22, the last year, the modified estimate is 6.8% deficit. So for the forthcoming year, we will try to reduce it to 6.4. Population. So that is nothing to that. You all can witness that, India's big, pain point is this increase in population only. And food grains production, again, it has gone by 6 times after independence. Import cover. So in months, you can see here that if about 50 years back, we were having an import cover of only 3 months. Means how much reserves we are having, financial reserves we are having in order to cover for the import we need. So at that time it was 3 months. Now we are having about 18 months, means 1.5 years import cover we are having. Agriculture to GDP. So in the beginning, that we depended too much on agriculture in the first 2 or 3 decades of agriculture. So 54% representation was there, contribution was there of agriculture, but now service sector and manufacturing is taking the lead. So 16% of agriculture is the present picture. Friends, the another important aspect, I think, because in the commerce students you might be studying taxation subject also, the income tax is also there, direct taxes, indirect taxes courses will also be there for you. And one of the important observation which you all would have made in the last couple of budgets, that was related to introduction of a new tax regime. So last year they introduced, and this year they have made no change, but it is facilitated to the assessee only to decide which tax option, which tax regime the assessee wants to adopt. So you can see here the slabs are very visible, and I hope that the commerce students in BCom, they would have taken the understanding about the computation also. But for larger picture, so for older tax regime, that was up to 2.5 lakhs, it was nil, and 2.5 to 5 lakhs, it was 5%, 5 to 10 lakhs, it was 20%, and then above 10, it was 30%. In a new tax slabs, so what is the difference between these two slabs? So the difference actually is, if anyone belongs to creamy layer, means if that one is earning a very high amount of salary, or other making money through business, so 15 lakhs and above, so in that case the assessee will always be going for opting for new tax regime. So the tax calculations will be in favor of the person if he opts for new tax slabs. But the persons who are middle class, upper middle class, if your salary ranges from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, or 10 to 12, or 12 to 15 even, so even then, and you are investing also in various ATC schemes, whether it is related to LIC or NSC or NPS. So in that case, and you are taking some housing loan also, or you have invested for construction of house. So, and you are paying a huge amount as interest on your housing loan. So in that case, the old tax regime will be profitable to you. So that is, the general understanding about these two tax slabs regimes. And this year there has been no change. So coming back to our this current budget, so focus of the budget. See, this year, twin objectives are being kept by the government. So, on one side, they want to achieve, the government wants to achieve macroeconomic growth. And they also want parallel microeconomic growth as well, and by ensuring development of all the sectors. So means they want to complement each other, both means micro level also and macro also. And this is interesting as well because this budget is quite ambitious. See, we have been speaking about Make in India, and other things to promote industry. And I think this year, what do you say? It has been made practical now. And how it has been done, we will try to understand this. So this budget actually speaks, or what you say, proceeds in three phases: Part A, Part B, and Part C. And I would also like to acknowledge, the resources which I am using, that is being taken from Study IQ. So that is also very useful. I think information they have provided, on this Part A. So this India's, this year now the aspirations are very high. The economic growth which this budget seeks is anticipated at 9.2%, and they are claiming that it will be highest among all larger economies. We have to realize the dream of a 5 trillion economy, and we are moving very fast. So it is important that the size of economy, if you have to expand, the effort has to be made in that line. So you will be now thinking that how to take it to 5 trillion economy. Practically, if you want to do, you have to increase manufacturing. You have to make the employment possible. So if you see in this special focus of this budget is productivity linked incentive schemes. Productivity linked incentive schemes in 14 sectors. So 60 lakh new jobs we are anticipating to be created under this scheme. And this scheme is likely to have a huge impact. As I told you, this production of 30 lakh crore is likely to emerge through these productivity linked incentive schemes. And friends, what is the size of this current budget? It is 39.45 lakh crores. So whole economy's budget is 39.45 lakh crores. And if these things are realized, that PLI schemes are operationalized, so additional manufacturing of 30 lakh crore will become reality. If that is the reality, naturally the manufacturing will definitely push employment and prosperity for the economy as the outcome. And as I was in the beginning sharing with you that we are celebrating 75 years of independence, and we are reciting it as Amrit Kal now. So when we are using the term Amrit Kal means the time of reaping the benefits of good deeds has started, because India will celebrate 100 years in 2047. So we have completed 75 years. We have now the right time to take it to new heights in the next 25 years. So what is the roadmap? The budget provides four, footsteps for this reality. What are those four priorities? The highlights. One is Prime Minister Gati Shakti Plan. Prime Minister Gati Shakti Plan. Second is inclusive development. Third is productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition, and climate action. And last is financing of investments. So these are the four pillars, on which the government is planning that by the next 25 years, if we are driving that is a vision which the government has set for next 25 years. So the budget may be for this year, but that is setting the pace for journey of 25 years. So this Amrit Kal goal is on focusing on three things, that is focus on growth and all inclusive welfare, as pointed out by me. It will also promote technology enabled development. So you have not to ignore or overlook the role of technology, energy transition and climate action. You have to take the climatic concerns also alongside, and energy transition as well. Solar energy is going to be now focused in the times to come. Then virtuous cycle starting from private investment. So the focus now will increase and crowded in by public capital investment. So parallel side, we have to build infrastructure also. Public capital investment will be done. So as I told you, these four priorities are specified in part A of the budget. So these will set the tone for next 25 years, not only for this 1 year. So coming forward to first thing, that is Prime Minister Gati Shakti Plan. So as per this dimension, there are 7 engines that drive this plan, Gati Shakti. So actually this Gati Shakti, it speaks about energy of speed, the power of speed. So accordingly it is related to transportation only. So how to strengthen road, railway, airports, ports, mass transport, waterways, and logistics infrastructure. So these 7 engines, are driving growth for Prime Minister Gati Shakti project. And the outcome which they are anticipating for this Prime Minister Gati Shakti is economic transformation, seamless multimodal connectivity, and logistics efficiency. And these projects which are covered under these 7 areas in national infrastructure pipeline, so they will be aligned with integrated with the Prime Minister Gati Shakti framework. So new terminology has been coined, and all efforts which were already being taken, so they are to be integrated under one umbrella, so the Gati Shakti plan. So operationalizing, if we are saying, because that is a longer broader picture, but because current year road transport, so on road side for current year 22-23, so the target is to national highways to be expanded by 25,000 kilometers and 20,000 crores to be mobilized for national highways network expansion. Multi-modal logistics parks. So through public-private partnership mode, contracts will be awarded in 22-23. And what is this multi-modal logistics parks? When we speak about transportation, and that sometimes goods are to be delivered in different transportation modes. So initially the things will come through sea mode, okay, and from there you have to take it to railway mode, and then it has to go by maybe air mode or maybe by road mode. So the logistic parks will be created, which will be facilitating all kinds of shifts, so that the convenience of the sender is taken care of fully. Similarly, in railways, so not only to strengthen the logistics part at railway station as well, but the local businessmen, so they are also to be rewarded, and supply chains are to be strengthened. So that's why one station, one product concept they are introducing, so that the particular strength in a particular location, so that will be defined, and accordingly one product will be defined, and the energy effort will be made to realize this theme of one station, one product. They have already introduced Kavach scheme, so 2000 kilometers of railway network further will be brought under this Kavach scheme in the current year 22-23, and 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains will also be manufactured in the next 3 years. So 400 is a very again big target, so but in the next 3 years it is likely to become possible. Then cargo terminals. So 100 Prime Minister Gati Shakti cargo terminals for multimodal logistics will be developed in next 3 years. So again, for strengthening those, logistics requirement. Okay, so for smooth shift from one mode to another, these terminals will play a big role. So this, what do you say, road network, this national highway network, the old existing picture is, the red lines you can see here that are not so intense in the left picture. But on the right side, if you see, the intensity of these red lines is, too high. So it means that the national character will be given to all the, highways, so that proper care is adopted every time. Another small, effort related to this first part is Parvatmala. So national ropeways development programs now, will be adopted in public-private partnership mode. And this year they are anticipating, 60-kilometer length for 8 ropeway projects. And friends, now for inclusive development after Prime Minister Gati Shakti plan. So inclusive development, when we say, there are different, focus areas. So starting with agriculture. And you all know about Prime Minister Kisan Samman Yojana. So in agriculture, 2.37 lakh crore direct payment will be made to 1.63 crore farmers for procurement of wheat and paddy. So they have tried to strengthen the support to farmers. So, and this is actually incorporating the minimum support price concern also of the farmers as shared by them. Chemical free natural farming to be promoted throughout the country. So this is another thing. And they also are anticipating a bigger role of NABARD. So friends, last few years, in the last few budgets also, 3-4 years, you would have heard about farmer produced organizations, FPOs. And NABARD was actually playing a very key role there in those FPOs to strengthen the cooperative farming, in rural areas. So NABARD will facilitate the fund with blended capital to finance startups for agriculture and rural enterprise. So again, they are to support and NABARD, and the ultimate expectation is to strengthen rural enterprise and agriculture. Similarly, Kisan drones, new concept they have brought in here for crop assessment. And then they will focus on digitalization of land records, spraying of insecticides and nutrients. So these are the other things which they are planning to initiate in agriculture. Cane Betwa project. So in inclusive development, between the borders of Madhya Pradesh, MP and UP, there is some area in Bundelkhand area location there, water problem, irrigation problem is being witnessed by both the states. So there they have now allocated about 1400 crores for implementation of Cane Betwa link project, so that the irrigation problem which is being suffered by the farmers from long time will be resolved this year. So 9.08 lakh hectares of farmers land will start receiving irrigation benefits by this project. So that is another, achievement. So this is the, map which I was just trying to show you, that how the two states, particular area, this project is likely to bring the result. Then for MSMEs, as I told you, Make in India, things are to be there. So micro, small and medium enterprises are also to play a big role. So already some, schemes are active, whether it is Udyam, eShram, NCS or a SEAM portal. So they all will be interlinked just for, integration of effort. And another important thing which happened, during this Corona period, when the things worsened in the year 2020, when Corona, came and was on its peak, the government at that time had started this emergency credit link guarantee scheme. So if some small startup is there and they do not have any, money, security money to be deposited with the bank. So at that time, government had launched this scheme, emergency credit linked guarantee scheme, in order to, permit these MSMEs to flourish and to operate. And this period actually is going to wind up in 2022. So already 130 lakh MSMEs has taken advantage of this scheme. So the government became guarantor for these MSMEs, but because the period was to be expired, now again government has extended this period to next year, that is March 2023, because still, the corona's impact is not over, and MSMEs, they are to be given that support. And guarantee cover, so they earlier had kept 4.5 lakh crores, but now they have further expanded it by 50,000 crores, so about 5 lakh crores of support they have given. Then 2 lakh crores additional credit for micro and small enterprises they have given under credit guarantee trust for micro and small enterprises. So 2 lakh crore. So you can see the liberal heart of the government. So apart from this emergency credit linked guarantee scheme, so additional allocation has also been given, so that at no point they should feel half-hearted for taking new initiative. Then raising and accelerating MSME performance. So there are those MSMEs which are not performing well. So for them also, we have to identify, diagnose the reasons, and then we have to do hand holding. So for that also 6,000 crores has been, allocated. One of the another gray area, in India is skill. So whether it is upskilling, reskilling. So for that digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood, so they have started this as a new campaign, the Desh Stack e-portal. Desh is digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood. So this Stack e-portal they have planned to launch to empower citizens to skill, reskill and upskill through online training. So online, because it is digital ecosystem, so online will be the platform. Then startups will also be promoted to facilitate drone Shakti and drone as a service. So drone as a service, so that is another thing. So in drone, the startups are to be encouraged. In education area, so already they had encouraged online education, so through television. So 20 one class one TV channel program of Prime Minister e-Vidya to be expanded to 200 TV channels. So I think the idea is working well. That's why this year now it is going to be expanded to 200 TV channels. Virtual labs and skilling e-labs to be set up. So you know that at a higher education level, critical thinking and simulated learning environments are needed, okay, to develop the decision-making skills. So that's why virtual labs and skilling e-labs are also to be given, especially when these pandemics create impact. So at that time, the role becomes very, very important. High quality e-content to be developed. So that is another aspect about. There are multiple digital platforms, whether it is Swayam is there or EG Pathshala is there or NPTEL is there. So these all are offering e-content, free e-content for higher education. So you people can also get advantage of these e-platforms. Digital university, they are anticipating for world-class, quality universal education. In the area of health, so national digital health ecosystem, they are anticipating to set up this year. And national tele-mental health program is also on the roadmap for quality mental health counseling and care services. So friends, you all know that this last 2-year period, has caused huge mental challenges for the people because of the lock-in period and, other COVID challenges. So that is a good initiative. Then network of 23 tele-mental health centers of excellence, they are planning to set up. And with Nimhans already being there, the nodal center, and International Institute of IT, they will be providing the technology support. So these tele-mental health centers of excellence, they are going to set up, and the two existing, institutes will providing a key role. Saksham Anganwadi. So, Anganwadi is a hit model now. So, they are trying to integrate the benefits to women and children through different small, programs, Mission Shakti, Mission Vatsalya, Saksham, Anganwadi, and Poshan. So 2 lakhs Anganwadis to be upgraded with this. Then housing is a big concern. India is an overpopulated country. So 48,000 crores now they have further allocated for completion of about 80 lakh houses in the next year only in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So near to 1 crore means 80 lakh houses are still under the roadmap. So that is good news for many. Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeast region. So PMDVINE, so that is new scheme. So Prime Minister Development Initiative for Northeast, they have launched for fund infrastructure and social development projects in the Northeast. So initial allocation of 1,500 crore they have made to enable livelihood activities for youth and women under the scheme. Vibrant village program, that there are different villages, some far-flung areas are there, remote villages are also there, especially in the border. So the connectivity problem is there, infrastructure problems are there on the northeast border. So the places, so they have defined it so that under this scheme we are able to allocate the money and take initiative. Banking, now 100% of these all post offices, 1.5 lakh post offices will be taking the role of banking now. Core banking services they will start performing, and scheduled commercial bank will also set up about 75 digital banking units in 75 districts. So digitalization will also be the focus area, especially in commercial banks. E-passport service with embedded chip and futuristic technology will be rolled out. Urban planning. So, that 100 smart cities has been there on the roadmap, and for that they are anticipating, they're expecting that the building bylaws will be modernized, town planning schemes and transit-oriented development will be implemented, and for electric vehicles also the battery swapping policy to be brought out for setting up charging stations at scale in urban areas. So these are some things. Then land record management. So land parcel unique identification number will also be there for IT based management of land records. Accelerated corporate exit, the companies which are not performing well, so for them CPACE, that is Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit, will be established. For that the speedy winding up of those companies can happen. Then there are small initiatives. Now you would also understand that there is a specific dominance being experienced of animation, visual effects, gaming and comic. So but there is no special focus till date. So that's why now they have created a task force. So AVGC promotion task force. So this task force actually will realize the potential of this sector. Telecom sector. And in telecom sector also, whereas in the beginning I shared with you production linked incentive scheme. So telecom sector has also been covered under those 14 sectors which are permitted under this PLI scheme. There huge money has also been kept there. So this scheme will help to build a strong ecosystem for 5G in telecom. Export promotion. So another important highlight, SEZs, that is Special Economic Zone Act, now is going to be replaced with a new legislation to enable states to become partners in development of enterprise and service hubs. So shortly we will see the progress in this regard. Atmanirbharta in defense. So for domestic industry, 68% of the capital procurement budget, we have now increased. Earlier it was 58%, and defense R&D will be opened for industry, startups and academia, and there will be upper cap of 25% of defense. Independent body will be there for meeting, testing and certification requirements. Then there are some sunrise, industries. What we say that there are opportunities in these industries. Forthcoming, 1 decade, you will see huge opportunities. So artificial intelligence, geospatial systems, drones, semiconductors, genomics, pharmaceuticals, green energy. So these are areas. So R&D support will be given by the government in these industries, and energy transition and climate action. So as I told you that though the government has given focus on productivity linked incentive scheme, PLI scheme, so for solar modules also allocation has been made, because energy transition, as I told you, this is one of the key area there in this roadmap of Amrit Kal. So 19,500 crores additionally allocated to meet the goal of 280 gigawatt of installed solar power by 2030. So India has a goal of achieving the installation of the solar power, okay, of 280 gigawatt. So for that, the operationalization has to be done. So that's why manufacturing of high efficiency solar modules is the need of the hour, and for that government has also to create incentives through this productivity linked incentive scheme, and for that they are going to keep the money. And the carbon dioxide savings also, it will likely to emerge 38 MMT annually they are going to. So these are the other expected outcomes. So that much detail we are not to do. Then financial support to farmers belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes who want to take up agroforestry. So that has also to be promoted. Public capital investment. So public investment, is already encouraged by the government, and the expenditure now they have increased. So earlier it was, last year it was 5.54 lakh crore, and it has been increased by 35%. Though this year we are projecting, we are allocating 7.5 lakh crore for public capital expenditure, and it is likely to be 2.9% of GDP. So though they are budgeting 10 lakh crores, so they will again modify, they will take it further to 10.6 lakh crore. So the effective capital expenditure will be about 4.1% of GDP, means again 1% jump may be there. Another important focus in this budget is GIFT IFSC. Now what is this GIFT? That is Gujarat International Financial Tech City, and it is operating with the help of International Financial Service Center, that is IFSC. So this GIFT city is being established. In Gujarat, Gandhinagar is the city which is defined as a GIFT city, and there whenever the companies are involved in export or import, so there are sometimes conflicts being there between the importers and exporters, and if the case is between Singapore company and Indian company, so the hearing takes place and arbitration takes place in Singapore. So in order to resolve that concern, So an international arbitration center will be set up for timely settlement of disputes under international jurisprudence. And similar, so in these cities, Gujarat, Gandhinagar, so world-class foreign universities and institutions to will be allowed there. So that is the focus area here. Mobilizing resources. Another key challenge which you would have also seen that for softwares, for data storage, earlier the recognition was not given during funding or quoting as an expenditure. So data centers now and energy storage systems will be now given infrastructure status. So technically, legally, the status of infrastructure has been expanded, and they will now be included. So venture capital, private equity investment, more than 5.5 lakh crore last year. So what is the purpose? In order to facilitate largest startup and growth ecosystem. And there will be effort to further scale up this investment. So we have to mobilize resources, as I told you. So for sunrise sector also, so blended funds will be used. Sovereign green bonds will be used for mobilizing resources for green infrastructure. So friends, as you know, that climate is a big concern. So this COVID and other constraints emerge only because of climate. So government will mobilize resources to strengthen the green infrastructure, and for that, so sovereign green bonds will be issued by the government. So moving back to the focus overall, takeaways. That is total expenditure, as I told you, in this year kept at 39.45 lakh crores. And receipts other than borrowings, we are projecting at about 22.84 lakh crores. So friends, if we are keeping a budget of about 39.4 rupees, so effective receipts which we are receiving other than borrowings will be about 22 rupees, that is 22.8 lakh crores. And fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP. So in the current year, we originally had, current means 21-22. So we had originally targeted 6.8% deficit. But because of certain, last moment changes, so we are now fixing it at about 6.9% of GDP. So 31st March 2022, so we are likely to have about 7% deficit, fiscal deficit in the current year. And though it is not good to be too much ambitious, so accordingly only for the forthcoming year, financial year 22-23, the deficit we are anticipating a slight low, that 6.4% of GDP we are anticipating. This is the summary picture of the revenue as well as capital expenditure and fiscal deficit. So you can see here that for 22-23, the revenue receipts we are anticipating, highlighted in yellow, is 22,04,422 crores. While revenue expenditure we are expecting is 31,94,663 crores. So means our revenue expenditure is likely to be 31.9 lakh crores, and our receipts will be shorting of that is 22 lakh crores. So about 8 to 9 lakh crores deficit will be there, revenue deficit will be there. And if you see the gross picture, so though the capital expenditure right now you can see on the right, extreme right, is expected at 7.5 lakh crores. As I told you that there is a huge jump. So last year we had kept capital expenditure at 5.5 lakh crores. So 35% jump we have made. It means that we are planning this year, to spend liberally on infrastructure. So that is one implication of this budget. And capital receipts, that is 17 lakhs, the majority of the capital receipts will emerge through borrowings only, because as you understand that the overall budget is projecting a fiscal deficit of 6.4% of GDP. So it means that picture is not that much good. So because if your receipts are representing a major percentage from loans only, borrowings only, the things will not be that much good. So another important aspect is digital rupee by RBI. So this year government has very cautiously decided to introduce digital rupee. So about total currencies, 10% government is making up mind to offer in the form of digital currency. And there are some other updates also, but right now this point is there about for state, different states, what is the support. So scheme for financial assistance to states, they have now increased 15,000 crores, for various state governments, which the financial assistance they are offering. And they are also allocating 1 lakh crore. So in catalyzing overall investment in the economy. So all states, they are again allocating 1 lakh crores in the current year, and they will also offer 50-year interest-free loan. Okay, so over and above the normal borrowing. So if some state government wants to borrow, so they are welcome, and it will be interest-free only. And the fiscal deficit will also be allowed by the central government if someone, goes further for borrowing. So they will be allowed a fiscal deficit of 4% of gross state domestic product. So that is also there. And out of which within that 0.5% will be tied to power sector reforms. So power sector reforms also to be initiated by all the states. So that is another cap government wants to fix. So overall fiscal management, friends. So in the current year, which is already going on, for that original budget estimate was 34.83 lakh crores. And now, after midterm evaluation, now they are revising it to 37.70 lakh crores. So about 3 lakhs crore they have further revised the estimate for the current year, and for the forthcoming year, that is 22-23. So 39.45 lakh crore they have kept. Now, moving to the deficit side, I think I have already shared earlier also in the last slide that the fiscal deficit, only the upper one you can observe that how government is consistently making effort to reduce the fiscal deficit. So 9.2 in 2021, now the budgeting has been done at 6.4. So though in a slow speed, but the efforts are made to control the fiscal deficit. And you can see there is a consistent decline in revenue deficit also, and primary deficit as well. Moving further to direct taxes part B, Dr. Libison, is it comfortable, or should I wind up? Am I audible?
Hello.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will take another 5 minutes, Dr. Libison.
Sure.
So in part B, so as I friends told you that part A was focusing on inclusive development, and with these 4 pillars of whether it is Gati Shakti plan or inclusive growth. So the macro and micro level growth was the focus. In part B, direct taxes is the focus, and the goal of the budget, is to enable the citizens to have trust over the tax regime, stable and predictable tax regime, simple tax regime. This is what the government is visualizing. And though there are no changes right now, as I already showed you the returns, that old tax regime and new tax regime. So this year you have the freedom to even revise your return, the updated return. If you want to pay some additional tax, you can submit updated return. So the flexibility is given to the assessee, and if you have missed some income earlier, you can definitely update the return. So there's nothing like sin committed by you in case you by mistake you failed to declare the income earlier, can be filled within 2 years from the end of the relevant. So there, but there is a time gap. Cap is there. 2 years, permission has been allowed. Cooperative societies. So friends, cooperative societies have been, doing a lot, in especially for what is the priority sector. So alternative minimum tax, the slab has been reduced from 18.5% to 15%, and so that level playing field is there between the cooperative societies and the companies. And surcharge also has been reduced from 12% to 7% in case the total income is more than 1 crore up to 10 crores. So for startups also, they have allowed, to avail tax benefits. They have extended the period of incorporation. So in incentives they have, extended. And for concessional tax regime also, the manufacturing under particular section is there. They have still, extended by 1 year. And for virtual digital assets. So as I was last time, a few minutes back, also I was sharing about, digital currency as well. So about 10% of the digital currency will be launched this year by the government through RBI. And what they have told that any income from the transfer of any kind of virtual digital asset, they are going to tax at 30%. And there is no deduction they are going to allow if you are computing such income except cost of acquisition. So you cannot claim any kind of expenditure to be debited in that case. And if you have suffered any kind of loss from transfer of any virtual digital asset, that can also be not be set off from any other income. So that is also there. So just like in the older system, we have the liberty to claim our one house property head. If you are suffering from loss, you can adjust it from salary head. So but this kind of thing is not available here in digital virtual assets. And the further they have operationalized these things, that TDS details are to be provided in regard to the virtual digital asset at the rate of 1%. So just to capture the details, because right now this is too early to say how virtual digital asset has to be dealt with. So government is still under the observation phase. That is, I think, the right decision also. So if gift is there, that is also to be taxed in the hand of recipient only in respect of virtual digital asset. Then surcharge also they have rationalized. So for association of persons, they have given upper cap of 15% so that disparity between companies and AOPs can be reduced. And from long-term capital gains, the surcharge also, on transfer of any kind of assets has been kept now as 15%. So earlier it was ranging from 15% to I think 35%. So but now they have given more liberty with regard to selling of capital assets. So long-term capital gains, the surcharge upper capping reduced to 15%. So they want to just give a boost to the startup community. Final part of this, that is indirect taxes. So friends, as you know that GST has contributed in a big way to the economy. And when I will show you the contribution of indirect tax in terms of revenue generation, that is also very big. So GST revenues are going in a big way, and some operational support has been given in custom administration of special economic zone will be made fully IT driven. There is one. Then custom reforms and duty rate changes will be there. Faceless custom will be there, and then project imports and capital goods will be there. So gradually concessional rates in capital goods and project imports and moderate tariff will be there. So GST collection, the data you can see here from December 19 to December 21. So though there are very big impact being noticed of COVID, so national wide lockdown was also there, but overall picture has been very high in lakh crores. You can see this red line. So GST collection has been increasing. There are specific sector-wise impact also, but I think there's not wise to discuss these things in detail. The nutshell, what you say, the takeaway is that in all industries, government wants to make its dream of Make in India a reality. So in electronics or in gems and jewelry, whether the relaxation is in the form of custom duty or it is in the form of some other way. So for MSMEs, for chemicals, the things are always in the favor of businessmen only. So that they can move freely and they can think independently. So similarly for blending of fuel also. So that ethanol, if anyone goes to blend, so then relaxation is there. Otherwise, you have to bear the additional differential excise duty of 2 rupee per liter from 1st October 2022, so that the people are able to decide for blending only. So there are some items which are cheaper or costlier because of so final, the picture of rupee. So if you see the budget components for analysis, if we speak about from where the rupee comes, so you can see here, the taxation now, both the GST, if you see after borrowings. So borrowings is, very easy route. So when government decides to borrow, so that is never a good decision. You know that the fiscal deficit, emerges only with the help of borrowings. More you borrow, so more fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP will emerge. So I'm ignoring that 35% of borrowing. So after that, if you will see the indirect tax, that is GST 16%, then corporation tax, income tax 15% each, then union excise duties 7%, customs 5%, so non-tax revenue of 5%, so maybe in the form of interest, dividend, or non-debt capital receipts, so that is of 2%. So overall, the breakup in terms of sources, that is revenue or capital, is on left side, and the spending pattern. So if you see here, interest payment, the highest value, that is 20 paisa, is going only for interest payments by the government. So that is a matter of concern. Then state's share of taxes and duties is 17%. And then how government is planning to realize its dream of infrastructure development. So central sector schemes are there, centrally sponsored schemes are there, 9%, and other expenditure miscellaneous, they have kept pension payment also 4% they are using, then subsidies they are using 8% for farmers, for different people. Defense, they are again spending 8%. So this is the macro picture. And finally, these different government sponsored schemes are there. Atmanirbhar Bharat Rojgar Yojana, so they are increasing it from 5,000 to 6,400 crores, and Swasthya Suraksha Yojana 7,400 to 10,000 crores. So this is, I think, the all from my side. So now I request Dr. Libison to proceed.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. It was really informative. And now I would like to welcome Libison, sir, the Assistant Professor of St. Aloysius College, for the question answer section.
Thank you, sir, for this comprehensive coverage of Union Budget 2022. If you permit, we would take some questions from the...
Yeah, please. Please.
So we have students joined online. Some of you, if you come forward, you can interact with the speaker with your questions. Some of you, is there anyone willing to come forward and interact with the speaker on the basis of what speaker has presented, if you have some questions?
Sir.
Yes.
So you just introduce yourself and interact with these people. Okay.
So what do you think about the relevance of digital university? Should I type the question, sir? Libson, sir?
No, is it
Yes.
audible? I think you are asking about digital university.
You
Yes?
you introduce yourself, Ritina, then you.
Okay.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are
Yes,
audible.
yes.
Okay, so my name is Ritina Nelson. I'm final year BCom student from St. Aloysius College, Thrissur. Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
So, what do you think about the relevance of digital university, which has been stressed on our union budget this year? Is it a model adopted from other countries? Wouldn't it deteriorate the significance of our face-to-face teaching?
Yeah, I think I really appreciate your question because you belong to student community, and I think this last 2 year period of pandemic, there was no plan even by any higher education institution also to immediately shift to online mode, and because this year the budget has specified for setting up of digital university. So in that context, it is really appreciable that you were observing the key takeaways of the budget. So that is a good thing. But moving back to your question now, digital university. So Ritina, uh, if genuinely we are to evaluate, I think no government would like to replace the offline mode, because when it comes to the comfort, the skill transfer that takes place in offline mode, in face to face mode, so that there is no match for that. Okay, but when it comes to the benefits which are derived through digital teaching, just like now, see, I am sitting in my finance office, in Central University of Punjab right now. So there are so many people waiting outside. So if originally Dr. Libison would have, sought the time for my offline visit to Kerala, so that would have been rarely possible, in the maybe December month or maybe some vacation period in summers in June. But that whatever I could know and understand about budgeting, so I shared with all of you. So that is a plus point also of that digital education. So there are both plus and minus points. Do not happen by a concrete planning. Anna, some things happen due to intrusion by the nature. So this nature decision to bring COVID, and then government was forced to prescribe online teaching. So on keeping those things in line only, the experience has been quite useful for the government, and that led the government to setting up of decide the setting up of the digital university. So this digital university has made the life of learners quite possible when it comes to cost aspect. Just like as I told you that coming there, staying there, delivering lecture, for me also, for your college also, so that would have brought so much labor. Okay, so that thing we have to decide about this digital university. So there are plus and minus, but I definitely appreciate the effort, because your digital university will make the affordability problem of the students, the cost, that is also big challenge. And if you see the cost involved in online courses, online programs, you visit the world's top universities. So they are offering a number of what you say programs, there. So, but if you compare the fee structure there, so that will be very very less as compared to the offline education. So, in my opinion, this is big initiative by the government, and it will definitely help ultimately all the people. Anything else?
Okay, so Alan Joy is asking something. Alan, can you unmute yourself and introduce you?
Sir, my name is Anand Thakur. I am third year BCom student.
Okay.
I have to ask a question regarding cryptocurrency. That how proposal to tax cryptocurrency and other digital assets would affect our financial system structurally.
Yeah, your name, beta?
Excuse me, I can't hear.
Alan Joy. Alan Joy. Sir.
Alan, okay. Alan, I think another good question by you. See, when we speak about cryptocurrency, okay, uh, you know, the speculative nature of anything, the persons who are sincere, who are honest, so that thing is never going to be rewarding or more encouragement for anyone. And if you see the government's approach also towards cryptocurrency, so right now, they have put the taxation at 30%. That okay, any income is generated through transfer of any kind of cryptocurrency will be taxed at 30%. But still, the formal recognition is needed. So because the difficulty right now, practical difficulty being faced by government is about how to exercise control over the digital currency, because in wallet form the things are being stored in e-wallets, and if you are transferring something, if you are purchasing something, so it is very difficult actually to operationalize the control over that movement. That's why legalizing those things is really a practical challenge. And though I understand that at international level, different countries, the reputed companies also have adopted cryptocurrencies. Now they are bitcoins they are spending. But I personally, because if you have to manage the economy properly, if you have to manage your finances in a legitimate mode and full control, so anything that brings uncertainty, that you have to avoid. So first you should have full understanding of those things and mechanism to control that thing, then only safely and steadily you have to proceed further.
Okay, sir. Neha Shaju is asking something. Neha, can you come over?
So,
Yeah. Is this Neha? I guess she's not audible. Okay, she is asking something. The question is in the chat box. She asks the opportunities for commerce students in the area of AVGC. That's what she is trying to ask.
Okay. See, I am telling you from my own experience actually. One of my relative, I think 2 years back, after 10th, so that naturally, so very small in age, so after 10th, so he was having a strong interest in gaming software. So he wanted to go for some diploma or something like that in gaming in Chandigarh. But I discouraged his parents not to go for that. Now in animation or visual effects or gaming, comic, so though government has made a genuine effort, why? Because when it comes to uh, different games being promoted from other countries like China or like is Canada. So government is always keen to have their own manufacturers, because it will resolve two kinds of problems. On one side, it will be bringing employment, and second side, the revenue generation also for the country. So these are the only goals by which these task force has been set up. But if you personally ask me, the sustainability is must in any kind of business. So these gaming softwares or animation or visual effect is there. So from a career viewpoint, I think if I'm not wrong, your question is related to career only, no, for commerce students, AV,
Yes,
DC,
yes.
you are saying. So from that angle only, I'm saying that because right now, just task force has been, created. So what is there in the times to come, and in terms of the volatility in this industry also, because gaming is a very contemporary field. Okay, so any development takes place today, after 2 years it will be obsolete, then another game will come. So the persons who are involved in their career, so uncertainty again will be, revolving around the people who are stakeholder in that business. So you have to take a decision only keeping in that mind that, the uncertainty you have to tackle every time. Okay, so we all want to be stable in our life. So that is my message.
Okay, so we would take two more questions, sir, if you permit.
Okay, please, please.
Sriram is trying to ask something. Can you come over, Sriram?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
yeah, we hear you.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. My question is, does this year's hello?
Please.
Okay, sir. Does this year's budget have given an importance on environment protection and sustainable development, sir?
Employment
Hello.
generation and
Environment protection and sustainable development. Does
yeah.
this year's budget have given some importance on that?
But see, in the first part, when I spoke about Prime Minister Gati Shakti plan, so in that component, I had mentioned that solar modules. So for that also this what do you say, incentive plan is there. What I mentioned you the name. What was the name? I forgot. That's productivity linked incentive scheme. So productivity linked incentive scheme actually they have permitted for manufacturing of solar modules as well. And as I told you that in the beginning only, that a huge money has been kept. 30 lakh crores of production is anticipated through these productivity linked incentive schemes. So if in solar energy modules, so solar modules are to be manufactured naturally, this will contribute towards climatic safety and stability. That is one thing. And for employment also, so this productivity linked incentive schemes, 60 lakh new jobs are also to be expected through these schemes. So both objectives as asked by you will be settled.
Thank you, sir. One more question. Blanet, can you come over?
Sir?
Yeah, very clear. Yeah, you may raise the question.
Sir, I'm Planet. I'm a BCom final year student. I have a question. Will it be practically possible to run 400 Vande Bharat trains in next couple of years, considering our railway infrastructure?
See, I think if I personally see in the last 5 to 7 years, our transport minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, I have been consistently following him about the growth plans he is taking up, and the pace in which he's, running the entire transport ministry. You can, I will suggest you also that you personally also go through the website of Ministry of Transport, and there you will find a number of new records being set up, not only in road infrastructure, in this aviation also, in railways also. So I agree with your question that 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains, are to be manufactured. This is quite ambitious, and this also I also mentioned but it is for next 3 years. And if you expect 100 to 120, 150 per year, trains are to be set up, then for a country like India, it is never an impossible task. It is highly possible.
So thank you so much for accommodating all the questions from the student side. And it has been an insightful session for the students. And you have covered all the points which from the students' perspective, I must say, what they should understand, what they have to keep in their mind. So thanks a ton for your presence. It has been more than 90 minutes now, and it's not easy to sit and deliver such a presentation, and you are also a busy person. So thank you so much, and I would request Srilaya to come over for the next proceedings.
Yeah, okay. Then now I would like to welcome Fenita Joy of final year BCom Finance for presenting the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Greetings to all here. I'm sure that all of you have enjoyed this session. On behalf of Department of Commerce and Aloysius College, I'm happy to offer words of thanks to Dr. Anand Thakur, sir, who handled the session effectively, also each and everyone. We are grateful that you had made time out of your busy schedule and managed to spend quality time with us. Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your words on this day. We also acknowledge your immense support for making the webinar success. We have been keenly listening to your words and feel richly informed by the knowledge about budgeting you shared. Let me thank you once again, sir, for your time and presence. And a special thanks to Dr. Chakojo, sir, our principal of St. Aloysius College, for providing immense support to make this webinar successful. And I extend my gratitude to Libison, sir, from the Commerce Department to organize a webinar like this for grateful session. And I must thank the organizing team volunteers for working hard for the past few days for this webinar. And special thanks to the people in the gathering. I would like to express my gratitude to all esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this great event. And thank you everyone once again for making this webinar great event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. So
thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence. And the election temperature is going on at your part of the city. And actually, we tried to schedule this tomorrow, but somehow you are not. The date was convenient for you. So you even this is being a working day. You are willing to join us and have this discussion. So thank you so much. Hope to meet you soon in person somewhere. And we end this session. I will be in touch with you, sir. The session is officially ended here. And there is an announcement for second year and first year students. Your fourth hour is scheduled, is cancelled, and fifth hour as usual. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.